of having children selfish. I actually agree with you on that. Now, except for you way back there. Yep, you.
Yeah.
She's the only one in this room that said, well, you did, but you did it in a way where everyone disagreed with you. No offense. She was really the only one answer I liked. She was the first person to say, what will happen to the children?
Well,
everyone here has said, why can't gays have children? Well, because gays have the right to have children. Well, that's not a good enough reason. What about the children? The children are the ones that are going to have to live with this.
Okay, obviously.
Now, obviously, another point, I'm not 100% saying gays should not adopt. I'm not saying that. Okay?
I know what you're saying.
I'm saying we don't have enough info to say what will happen to the child with a gay. Now, obviously, there's no way we can escape this. Children with a single mother or a single father, I'm not saying they're special or they're further down the chain than all other children, but you have to agree with me, it's different. I'm not saying it's negative.
It's not necessarily a bad thing, though.
I'm not saying it is.
I
am not saying it's
different.
different.
It's a bad thing.
But here's something you have to agree with me with. The child would have came out different if there was a mother or a father with them. The child would have grown up different. Love cannot be the only thing in a mother. Yes, love is a humongous part. You don't love the child, it's not going to work very well. And you have to have a lot of love with it. But love isn't the only thing that a child will grow up on. He grows up on experiences. A good one in psychology is observational learning, is where a child will watch the parent figure out what it has to do to learn. There's a whole bunch of learning that children will do that you will never even know the child learned because of what you did. You didn't realize it. For parents that cuss a lot, the child will statistically cuss more in adulthood. Mel, you disagree with that one?
Totally disagree.
Totally disagree?
Totally disagree.
Majority.
Actually, the actions of a parent, I'm going to say I don't do everything my parents do.
Well, yeah.
I learn from their mistakes, and I turn it into my own. I'm not going to repeat those same mistakes that they used, because, I don't know.
Well, I agree with that. That's a great point. Against me, but it's a great point. But let's look at children that don't grow up great. I'm not saying that they're going to become gay. That's not why they're bad. But they had like a child, they had a father that abused them. I'm not saying all gays do that. Or something that happened to them in the past. We don't know what gays on the child's development will do. Now it might do nothing. If it does nothing, cool. That's great. But we don't know what it will do.
But everybody knows what a straight family's influence will do to a kid, and a divorce.
No, that's not true.
She knows.
That's another thing with divorce.
We have the right to have babies, just like we have the right to religion. We have the right to all this stuff. So it's never nobody's ever gonna agree on everything. The point is, we should be given this right. We should be given this chance. We are people first. That is the point. All people should have the right.
Exactly. You're saying that you have the right to have a child.
I see. You're not gonna. You never are gonna know. And you see the monkey see she's talking. You're never ever gonna know how somebody's gonna raise their child or what that child is gonna absorb. No matter what you are a person first, and you never know what your child is gonna absorb. So because one person is gay or one person is black doesn't change the odds of them messing that child up. The odds are not any different.
Yes.
Like they could grow up in a perfectly like upscale home. Everyone's perfect. Yeah, and they could when they grow up they could be criminals or something.
Yeah.
But I mean, just because they grow up in a perfect home does not mean that they're going to be.
If the scale were the same, then we split 50-50. 50% are gay or homosexual, and 50% are straight. It's not that way.
There's more gay people out there than you know.
There's not more gay people than there are straight people. At this point.
Well, there's more gay people out there than you know, not necessarily more than straight people.
Can we just establish something? There's not one answer for every case, okay? There's not one answer. But you were kind of, that's what you guys were making it sound like, is that there's an answer for everything. There's not one answer for everything. There's not, it's not, just because it's like this, it means it's going to end up like this. It's case by case by case.
That's why I asked age groups.
So, but it doesn't, but that's still irrelevant too, okay? It's just, it doesn't matter on the household, the family structure, you know, children are going to be abused and live unhappy lives in the traditional family structures. They're going to live unhappy lives in the untraditional family structures. They're also going to be happy in those traditional lifestyles, and they're going to be also happy in untraditional lifestyles. It doesn't, there's so many variations that can screw up the development of the child. There's so much, you can't limit anybody. You can't limit anything.
Like, you can adopt a child that's, like, okay, say for instance, me and my husband or whatever adopt a child. You don't know me, we could be, like, serial fucking killers. Like, we could, like, beat each other up all the time. We could, like, be, like, the worst parents in the world. But since we're straight, I have a male and I'm a female, it's okay for me to adopt.
I'm not arguing.
Her example is extreme.
I want to go next. The points that I've tried to make, first of all, I never even got to finish. The whole point is, behind my parents, they want to have children. Everybody else gave their reason. I know. I wanted to give my reason. I just didn't get a chance to.
That's how
you guys gave your reason. So getting back to what I feel, I can't say all, but I would go as far as to say the majority of people, the reason why they have children or parents, is because they love the person they're with, and they want to have a child with that person. They want to be able to share their life experiences with that child. Now, you can't tell me that a homosexual or a gay couple would not want to share that or want to influence their child that way, wouldn't want to share that with them, because naturally, as a heterosexual male and the woman that I have, we both want to share how great it is, you know, that we are heterosexual, that the experiences that we've had together, and we want to share that part with them. And so what I'm saying is when you're taking that away from them, you're taking away that opportunity for them to have that.
But not most people plan their pregnancies.
But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, we're going to adoption, we're talking about, we've got two families here. One is gay and one is straight, and they're both upstanding, abiding citizens. There's no reason why they shouldn't be able to adopt. The only difference between them is one is straight and one is gay.
So that makes them different. Just by your case,
That's the only difference. That's the only difference.
It's like I got blue eyes.
It doesn't mean that they're not good. It doesn't mean that they're not smart. I'm just saying, why not give a child the opportunity that many, I would assume that many of the homosexuals or gay couples, or you know, they came from the background. Why not give a child a chance to choose himself?
I do agree with you.
Because you're going to dictate some way.
I do agree with you in a sense, but also it's like, you know, it shouldn't, like, I don't know how I'm trying to get to it. Like, I do agree with you in a sense to where you think that you love somebody and you want to share their experiences and let them know that, you know, they're heterosexual parents. I agree with what you're saying, but also there's media out there. Just because they have two gay parents, it's not like they're gonna know that's how it's supposed to be. It's called television. There's media. Like, they're gonna know the difference. They're gonna know, this is. For you to say they're not going to have the opportunity to experience.
They're not going to experience.
They're going to see. They're going to have relatives that are straight. They're going to have grandparents that are straight. You know. They're going to have grandparents that are straight. They're going to have
Okay, there are people like you have parents, but you have people outside in the society. You let your kid go to school. What kids are they going to encounter? It doesn't matter if they're adopted by gays or straights. They're still going to go into a community and they're going to have to interact with other people. It doesn't matter if they're gay or straight because you're going to interact as a one anyways. You can judge them. Yes, we judge. It's our human nature to judge, but it doesn't make them any different from us.
I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about, you can't, I think people are missing my point. My point is
you're saying that a man and a woman should raise because they're going to be.
If a homosexual raises a child, you don't think that they'll influence the child to be a homosexual?
No.
That makes no sense.
It will open the broad horizon.
Everybody.